Hello, I'm Connor. I'm the GM for Mummy's Mask and the dictator of Bob. Elected dictator, of course. Mummy's Mask being the adventure path we're running for Pathfinder 2nd edition. What I've done is I've gone through and very mediocrely converted everything in the first edition adventure path just to 2e. And we've sort of also jammed that in my homebrew world. I'm here with Jal. Jal, you were in the game.
I was.
What can people
And I remember things.
expect in this first video?
Well, we've got a ragtag bunch of desert dwellers in a lovely deserty city. There's a big event on, a big hullabaloo, where we're going to be respecting the dead and stealing their riches.
Exactly.
Lots of tomb raiding, lots of traps, some of which we'll see, and most of which we won't.
Yeah.
For now, just bullshittery.
That should be what is to be expected. The adventure path itself, this first session, which is split across these videos. How would you describe it?
Sandy, very sandy,
Sandy.
puzzling, and
dangerous. Sandy, puzzling, dangerous. I think that covers the next.
Yeah, sandy, puzzling, and dangerous.
Yeah,
they're good. I like them.
Yeah. And so we enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game, especially.
I enjoyed it. It was good.
It was a good first
session. I
like
talking to inanimate objects.
Yeah, and not. I mean, not to spoil anything, but you do talk to a lot of inanimate objects. Do they talk back? Maybe you'll have to. See.
Maybe, who knows? Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So hopefully it will be enjoyed
by all.
Go into it now.
Or some. I'll take some. Honestly, enjoyed by some. That's okay.
Perfect. And that is where we'll start. Enjoy, some of you.
Yeah, I'm Jude or Jal, depending. And I'm playing Grit.
I'm Matt or Mattie. I'm playing Farsi.
I'm Ryan. I'm playing Kyburn.
I'm Sherman. You can call me Sherm, and I'm playing Issue the Honest.
I'm Billy, and I'm playing Fungus.
It's a lovely morning in a very, very hot desert city called Wati. This one is on a river, a big river. And so, yeah, you're all here. I believe you've been assembled by a particular party member. You already all kind of know each other. You've been staying in this lovely sort of large tavern called the Tooth and Hooker. And hooker as in the big smoky pipe, not the prostitute kind.
Okay, so hookah, not hooker.
Hooker. It's a hooker. I'm saying hooker. And what we're doing is you're all here particularly for the lottery, which has been sort of given by royal decree to open this city's necropolis. The necropolis being a good half of the walled district. I mean, it's an necropolis. It's what it is, right? Everyone knows what a necropolis is. It's full of dead people and dead things and buildings that have no people in them because they all died. And so the priests of Meditas, who is the god of the dead, are holding this lottery that you've entered for groups to go in there and just loot to their heart's content. People from all over the world have gathered to sort of come and hope that they're picked to be the first to explore the necropolis, which has been shut down for many, many years since some sort of disease, as far as you're all aware.
So there are a lot of crowds right now.
There's people sort of, selling off goods and refreshments, people walking up and down with scorpions on sticks, and other desert-related food and drink. Anyone any good desert drinks? Because it's a bit of
water,
coconut,
tequila,
coconut. Billy, you can have a hero point. People walking up coconuts. There's women with coconut shells on their breasts. It's all part of the franchise. They're walking up and down with these coconuts.
Oh God, is it desert hooters?
It brings a whole new meaning to meaning to coconut milk.
Exactly. Yeah. They're walking up and down. Would you like to try a sample of my coconut milk, sir? One says to another in the crowd. He takes it, has a sip. So it's pretty good coconut milk.
Oh, cool.
Very nutritious.
Reminds me of my childhood.
There are even people sort of selling off adventurers' gear, like last minute, to sort of capitalize on the captive audience, which is sort of sat before this mausoleum. I will say that your group is already all together, stood before this elevated platform. It's a wooden stage, more so, where the high priestess of Meditas sits behind a table. Who do we see in the crowd? Let's go with you, Jal. Your character is the
cool.
most interesting sort of concept to look at.
I'm basically a big pile of sand. I'm called Grit, and I don't really have legs. I kind of just glide. I mean, I could have legs if I wanted to, but that's just more effort than I'm willing to put into something so simple as walking around.
Lovely.
I also don't carry my shit in like a rucksack. I basically just pull it out of me because I'm basically a container.
Lovely. What is Grit doing whilst you're sort of in this crowd? Like, what?
Are there any statues like
Absolutely.
Sphinxes or something?
There's
cool.
there's two statues either side of the wooden stage in front of you. Both depict the god Meditas.
I'll just be chatting to the statue then. So I'm friends with things of stone.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
All right. One-way conversation.
Very in-depth conversation.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm feeling the vibrations.
Of course,
it's stone speak.
Good
This statue's probably seen some shit.
That's exactly what it is. What is Farsi doing? What does Farsi look like? What are they doing at the minute?
So Farsi is this kind of like a darker catfolk, I would say. They have an eye patch over their left eye, and they are kind of just wandering around, circling throughout the crowd, trying to keep moving and avoiding any sort of members of authority, just based on their past.
Okay, good.
A tragic backstory.
Likewise, the other cat person, Kyburn, what are you up to in this crowd? What do you look like?
Well, I've got a nice but kind of disheveled purple kind of robe on. I've got a lot of little pouches and things for my alchemy ingredients, and I think I'm just perusing any potential new ingredients to buy.
Perfect. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of them. In the form of foods, though, usually it's like pineapples on sticks, and the aforementioned women with coconut breast covers. Fungus, you're sort of you're a short fella. What's going on with you?
Look at the stage.
Perfect.
But I keep getting knocked around by people because they don't see me.
That's pretty sad. I feel bad. What does fungus look like? Just sort of generally.
About 3 foot halfling, standard desert stuff on to not overheat.
Perfect, lovely.
Not really much going on.
He's a guy. He's just a little guy. He's being pushed around. And Eshu, finally, you're stood here. I imagine, kind of like wondering where you got these people from. They've all, one fella's talking to a statue, the other guy's too small to be not pushed around. One guy's sort of like just deeply ingrained in his ingredients, and then the final one is seemingly keeping a good radius from any guard. Eshu, what do you look like? What are you doing in this crowd?
So Eshu has asked for the coconut milk far too many times. He's been chatting up the ladies, seemingly successful, but it mainly seems to hinge off of the fact that he's able to pull out this gold over, like it just keeps going. It's like he has a never-ending supply, and he's just buying a lot of milk. But afterwards, to describe his appearance, he's this somewhat average height, wrinkly, sleazy man, bald, much older, wearing these large, loose red robes with a lot of pockets and whatnot to put things in, and he's just kind of gliding around, trying to gather people up, and this is who we found. This is who he's found for his plan, his great plan.
With that, our final addition to the party, and the one who has assembled everyone, is the greasy old pervert. And yeah, you're sort of all, like I said, you're all in various different sort of locations in this big crowd. The sun's sort of beating down on you. It's a nice clear day. You see a couple of like other teams have already assembled, and they've got really cool sort of matching gear. And you kind of look at them and think, wow, that's really cool. I wish we did something like that. You would also kind of notice that Sebsi the crocodile, who is this high priestess of Meditas, fairly young, she's sort of speaking to two lesser people sort of off the side of the stage who sort of, get a couple of urns and start bringing them up to the stage. She finally sort of stands, much to the hush of the crowd. She sort of raises her arms. She says, "Let the lottery begin." Although
I
many of
shush
you
one of the statues.
Good, good. You can. I would give you an extra hero point. You're already at full. That's great.
That's okay.
Perfect.
Give it to someone else.
Yeah. So she says, "Let the lottery begin. Although many of you have requested specific sites to explore, we must leave these matters to fate. The Lord of Sorrow is far better judge of destiny than we of this mortal sphere. The gates of the necropolis will open at sunrise tomorrow. Use this evening to prepare yourselves for the task ahead. Let these rules guide you in your endeavors in this holy place. Remember how this came to pass. Every slave's hut is a memorial, and honor the departed. May you go with the Lord's sorrow." I do have to now draw the numbers, though, I'm afraid. So, I don't know why the book tells me to do that first. The other two sort of acolytes open up the lids of these urns, and she begins to read out these different group names. Among them are people like the Daughters of the Desert, the Scorched Hand, and yours is read, the Dune Delvers. Is it trademarked yet? We don't know.
Delvers TM.
She continues to sort of read out these different party names until she's got to about a dozen parties, no more than a dozen. A fair few, and the rest of this big, huge crowd is left sort of disappointed. At this point, when your name is called, she summons one of you to the stage to collect your token.
Surely we should send the most honest among us.
Yeah, the most honest.
Perfect.
The man with all the
Not
money.
on paperwork.
Eshu, your entire group turns to look at you and sort of nudge you towards the stage.
Like, no matter where we are in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just lock eyes.
I'm waving from like halfway up the statue.
Yeah. I imagine you sort of go and sort of do this duty. Septi, the crocodile, she gives you. She's not actually a crocodile, by the way. I do realize I haven't actually described what she looks like. She's just sort of a woman, quite young. She's got a bit of a weird green lipsticky thing going on. But she is, by all means necessary, not a crocodile.
I'm gonna be honest. I was imagining just like an actual crocodile.
Like a hat on.
So
very regal clothes.
So yeah,
it's got a cape.
Eshu, you have been given the first location of your exploration site. She gives you a small sketched map of the necropolis that will allow you to travel through it. And you notice that your site even is named the Tomb of Akhentepi. You sort of recover this, and you rendezvous with your group, and you're all together. You've got the night to prepare. Upon the next morning, the gates to the necropolis will be open. What would you like to do?
How do I spell Akhentepi or whatever it was?
Akhentepi.
I'll bow deeply to the statue as I leave.
In your mind, you feel the statue rumble.
Oh, good.
Also nearby, everyone else sees someone has just like dropped a cart of scorpion sticks, which made the ground shake a bit.
How big are these scorpion sticks?
Oh, it's not that. It's just there was a lot of them. They expected to sell a lot of scorpion sticks.
Well, about 100 scorpion sticks all just fell on the ground
See,
simultaneously.
I know the truth, though.
Yeah, 100%. Are any of you sort of natives of this city? Any of you local?
I am.
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Aha, our local guide.
So you'll know your way around and can lead these foreigners all over.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did used to run illegal expeditions into the necropolis, so.
You would know that a lot of the adventuring parties are sort of foreigners, and they are staying in the Tooth and Hooker. It is like a huge, quite big tavern. So
I would head there at some point. It doesn't have to be the first place we go, but I would definitely want to head there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna head there as well. See if I can scare these foreigners a little bit.
Perfect.
And I want to get a read on the other teams, see what they look like, how dangerous they are,
Yeah.
and how gullible they could be.
So yeah, you're in. I mean, is there anywhere anyone wants to go before the Tooth and Hooker?
I don't think so. I don't have any money, so I'm not buy or anything. So
So yeah, you sort of waltz into the Tooth and Hooker where music is playing, just constantly at sort of quite a level. These big pipes are smoking, drinks are flowing. It's a wonderful time in the Tooth and Hooker, and there are primarily foreigners in this tavern. Everyone, give me a secret perception check. You've all sort of walked into this tavern, and you're like kind of the last people in there. Maybe you maybe one of you is slowing you all down in the walking, and
God.
you see people have already sort of claimed, like some people have claimed tables for their own adventuring parties. Some people are kind of sharing. Fungus and Eshu, you both cannot distinguish between who is sort of open to conversation and who isn't. However, Grit and Kyburn, you see particularly a particularly friendly looking group of entirely halflings, essentially. Halflings and dogs. Dogs as big as the halflings, and they're sort of welcoming people over to their table to sort of exchange stories. Farsi, you're not too sure. However, you would know that maybe don't go and speak to the sand scorpions. They look a bit dodgy. It's a big group of halflings. Maybe even fungus. Just seeing like a bunch of halflings. Seeing people of your own race. Maybe that'd sort of draw you into them, despite not knowing if they're open to it or not.
I'd probably like wander over.
I'll trail behind, but try not to make myself too invasive at the start.
yeah, I think my character's talents lie more in listening and watching
Perfect.
rather than specifically talking to people.
You wander over fungus, and this sort of incredibly ripped halfling, right? I don't think of halflings anyway as these little like chimpanzee style muscle machines. But this guy is his abs are glistening, his pecs are popping.
Vivid.
Oil.
He's coated in oil.
Connor spent a lot of time on this description.
And he looks over to you. He barks a couple of times, and he says, "Oh, it looks like we've lost one behind, brothers. We've left one behind. Come in, my halfling comrade. What's your name? You need in a group? We've got spaces. We got loads of dogs, and we need more people to ride them." And they all start howling in unison. It's the most cringe sort of
God.
group you've ever seen.
Does he have a little like name tag saying "the Alpha" on it?
It's got a tattoo actually. It's on his back.
Oh god!
Um,
Oh god!
No.
It's
It
gonna slowly
says
back away.
it says Alpha. Yeah, fair enough. It says Alpha on its back, and then Mad Dog Marin. Sorry,
Jesus
Mad
Christ.
Dog Man beneath. And he says, "Where are you going? The fun's this way."
I left something over there.
Oh, okay.
You just
Okay.
walked in and you go, I left something over there.
Oh no!
Oh,
Going to an
okay.
empty table.
All right. Well, our table and our pack is always open for another member. And then they all sort of
Yeah.
aroo in unison. So
God.
yeah,
far
tavern of
away from them.
brewers.
It was the. What was it called? What you said? Don't go towards.
The sand scorpions.
sand
They're all
scorpions,
a
the
bit
sand
shadowy.
scorpions.
Yeah, they've all got sort of hoods
Okay.
on.
What about the scorched hand? What are they in here?
Yeah, so you'd see this particularly elegant looking northern woman. She's in this lovely sort of airy pink sort of expeditionary outfit with a big pink hat. And she, she's particularly alluring. You don't know what it is.
I'm gonna go over to this.
Perfect.
Me too.
northern-
You both wander over, and she looks at you. She's like, it's just apparent that she's the leader of this group. She is just dressed much nicer. She has sort of an aura of affluence around her too. And she looks at you two as you approach their table. She says, "Oh, how pleasant. We've got guests. how can I? What would you like me to? Is this a dinner that we're having, or
No, I simply wanted to talk to you. You're the Scorched Hand, aren't you?
yes,
And that's what you go about calling yourselves.
that
I
is.
couldn't help
Yes,
it.
my idea.
Your
Teehee.
yes. Well, your group was called for the lottery. You must be very excited.
Oh,
to-
absolutely. But I think it is a terrible shame that they won't allow us to choose which sites we plunder. It's
And which side did you get assigned?
Oh, I know even.
I'm
see-
just curious because some of these sites are a bit dangerous, and a beautiful lady like yourself, maybe you need my assistance.
Oh no, we're quite well equipped. We're quite full, and she points to the two sort of local mercenaries she's got. With an N, there's another fella, who is this sort of he's sort of like another local fella, actually, a cleric.
Oh.
He says, no, we're quite capable, I believe. We've been assigned to a small house, which it's I'm not going to judge a book by its cover. However, a group of our sort of prowess and potential, we should surely be given something better.
Have you ever been inside of the necropolis?
No,
yourself?
it's full of criminals, and no, we're not supposed to go, are we? I mean, it's only today that
No.
tomorrow even that they're opening the gates. It's
Yeah.
a wonder.
It's amazing. I went into I visited
Oh?
the necropolis a while back, and it's
Sorry to interrupt, but you're with him. She points at you, and then to Eshu, who stood beside you.
yes.
Yes,
We're
of course, we're working
And he's
together.
He's paying you, or because I do hear a local accent in your voice.
yes, my very clear local accent.
It sounds so local and accented.
Yes. It's very desert.
Yes.
Well,
My castle
he's-
isn't far from here. It's just one. It's just one village over.
Oh,
yes,
Oh,
he's-
okay. Well, you go and talk to the kids about your castle, and us adults will talk. Be gone now, shoo. And she sort of starts waving her hand at you, Eshu, you creepy old perv. To
Fuck.
one, like she's pushing you out in favor of keeping
Dismissed.
Farsley.
All right, fair enough. I'll head out.
I'll
yeah.
wave enthusiastically as you return. As you spraying everyone in the vicinity and stand.
At this point, I like to think
Yeah.
you've sort of wrestled. Everyone who isn't in this is sort of wrestled for your own table. So you got your own little group table now. She says, "Well,
Yeah.
so your employer, how much is he paying you? Because my pockets extend quite deeply for the right talent."
I would love to join you, but you see, I wouldn't want to disappoint him. On this one excursion, I'm with him, but who knows? Maybe in future I can help guide you. And
Of course.
just between you and I do know a few sneaky ways to get into the necropolis without anyone else knowing.
Oh no, we'll do everything above board. We don't want to. We
Of
don't want
course,
to
of
undermine the church, the Church of Meditas, but
No,
it's good to have in case we must if they don't heed our words.
exactly. You said it yourself. A group capable as yourself should be, given these high reward sites.
Well, of course.
Shall we call them?
Yes.
Now, you said you got assigned to a small house.
Yes, just a
Is that-
small house, just north of the gate. It's not too far into the necropolis.
Mm,
It seems to be the house of a wealthy merchant.
Yeah.
Not too successful, but successful enough to be somewhat wealthy.
there's always next time. You can always get lucky again.
Of course.
But, well, I mean, I'm sure it'll be good to maybe we'll see each other in the necropolis, and maybe you can come over to our site, and maybe we might need some assistance in clearing it out. Who knows?
Oh, yes. Yeah. We'd be sure to help. We wouldn't leave anyone stranded.
No, of course
Now,
not.
if you do mind, I believe that is my dinner arriving. You see these sort of this fella bringing out 2 plates full of chicken kebab. delicious. And he sets it down. She says, "Good,
Classic desert cuisine.
good day."
Yeah.
She wasn't eating the scorpions on the stick. She's
Yes.
too posh for that.
I was just about to recommend her the scorpions on the sticks.
It's a relaxed atmosphere apart from the intense excitement. You know what I mean? Like no one is sort of darting around the room, but everyone is evidently excited and sort of can't wait until the next morning.
Those halflings won't stop howling.
Exactly.
I immediately urge Farsi to come back to me after this conversation that I did not get to hear.
Yes.
Whatever
Yes,
she said,
I-
do not listen to her. I've seen her face before. She just makes lies all the time. I know her.
Oh.
I've seen her. I recognize her. We were best friends once.
Oh,
And then, and then
really?
Yes.
What's her name then? I didn't manage to get. I didn't manage to catch her name. But please,
her name
awfully rude.
Her name is Joanna, but she will give you another name. Just don't
Joanna?
listen to her. I don't even know if it's her real name. That's the name she gave me when I met her and many years ago.
A deceitful woman then. Is that
Very
what you're telling
deceitful.
me?
And
Give me a
whatever she
give me a
said,
secret
which
perception
house?
check, Matty, to see if you believe Eshu's lies here.
The secret.
What do you mean? Are you saying
Perception
Eshu's
check.
honest? Isn't as honest as he first appears?
Sorry, I
Literally
mean, sorry,
Eshu the
Eshu's
honest.
statements. Yeah,
I
yeah,
cannot
of
lie.
course.
Have I ever told a lie? No.
Give me a secret perception check, Farsi. Eshu had you believing for a bit until he mentioned the name, and then that's when you realised this guy's just completely lying.
Fuck. Okay. Okay. Can you at least tell
Eshu,
me? Yes.
Eshu, the name is your castle also called Joanna, or does your castle go by a different name?
That one's called Moana.
Moana.
Yeah, but
Very
anyways,
traditional desert name for your
listen,
desert castle.
I've drank a lot tonight. If I say anything that's a slip up or is not accurate, you have to forgive me. I'm quite drunk off of this breast milk. I mean coconut milk that I had earlier.
Yes, the coconut milk is to die for.
It is to die for, and I've had a lot. You'll have to excuse me to the latrine after this, but I must ask. She mentioned I was reading her lips the whole time.
Oh, okay.
I think she said something like merchant. What was she saying? Merchant's house. What was that all about?
I think I know where she is. I think I know where she was placed.
I immediately pull out my map and I'm like scratching off like 6 locations.
I haven't even told you where it could be yet.
If it's
You're
a
just
merchant,
scratching off enthusiastically.
think, boy. Think we. It's a small house. Merchant.
I mean, she said
It is quite small.
slightly north of the gate. It is slightly north of the gate, and it is a small house.
Forget what I said. I just have a horrible feeling about her. There's something off about her. I've seen her before.
You're very good at picking up deceitful people, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. Very perceptive, and she is a snake ass bitch. I swear to God.
Oh wow, that's very aggressive.
After this long-winded sort of conversation, people are starting to now sort of go into bed. You also have a room that you all sort of have to share. People are retiring back to the chambers, and things are starting to close down. So much so that the fella behind the bar is giving you all dirty looks that you still sort of sat down here.
Well, I think we should remain seated here for at least another 30 minutes.
Let's keep ordering drinks that are very complicated.
Let's keep ordering the most complicated drinks that he could possibly. It's only one man. We need to order the most complicated drinks and order about 20 of them.
1 milk on the rocks, 2 pumps caramel, and get 1 for the kitty too.
What kitty?
The kitty?
Farsi's a cat, right? Wait, there's 2 kitties.
Oh, kitty!
Right.
I
thought
you said kitty.
Yeah.
As in like a child.
I found.
I got 2 cats here. I need milk. I need milk stat.
Brenda, I need to use your tit again, please. And Brenda comes in,
Oh,
takes the coconut off her breast and starts squeezing into a little tin bowl. It's going to get worse for as long as you will not allow me to railroad you.
Oh, this milk is really making me tired, guys. I think I'm gonna go to bed.
And so you
That's all I needed. I just needed a little nightcap.
you
Like milk.
lead the way up
I
the
think we
stairs
did.
to bed with this sort of woman's milk sort of drying up in your whiskers and around the fur around your mouth. And you all have a
What the
lovely
fuck?
sleep. In the morning,
Just like Mama used to make it.
in the morning, you all awake quite early. You're all quite excited, and you awake to a knock on the door.
I'm gonna
And
go and
when
answer it in my fucking Ebenezer Scrooge fit.
perfect.
Candle as well.
When you answer with candle lit, nobody is behind, but you sort of look in the corridor. You know, you sort of poke your head out, look both sides, and see someone with like a little sort of wagon going up and down this hallway, depositing bags. Basically, this person has dropped off a backpack full of some, complimentary survival gear.
Damn, 250 feet of rope.
Yeah, it's a lot. And yes, so it's morning. You've all sort of put your gear on. You've you're getting prepared, and I assume, let me know if you don't want to walk straight to the gate. But I assume you walk straight to the necropolis gates, ready for them to be opened. Has anyone ever seen Disneyland? You know, when it starts, when it first opens, and all the Disney adults are sort of crowded and start rushing off to their favorite rides.
Yeah, all those sad people that go to Disney when they're like 40 years old.
This
Yeah.
this
I was
is
thinking like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
all that works too. Yeah.
Wonka Factory, yeah.
The gates are sort of like open. These big. I mean, the gates. Everyone knows what gates look like.
I've never
And
seen a gate in my life.
So they are opened. There is like just a fella there shouting out the rules that you must remember, and so I will remind you of them. Remember how this came to pass. The plague of madness was unleashed upon the city of Wati. So remember that. It's a holy place. Every slave site is a memorial. Every building is a memorial, essentially. And honour the departed. The dead should be treated with dignity and respect to an extent, because you are robbing their tombs. So I mean,
Yeah. Just rob it politely.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so you are.
Say please when you take things.
Yeah. So you are here as the gates are opening and people are rushing in, all these different groups. You do see the woman in the pink sort of expeditionary outfit. Her and her group are swanning over. They're not even running. They have some grace and decorum, and they are slowly sort of swanning over to their sort of assigned area. You make your way directly to the Tomb of Akhentepi, where you've been assigned to. Yeah, you come to this tomb, the one that you've been assigned in, respecting the sort of assignment system clearly.
Issues. I like to think that like Issue's desperately trying to go off track, and I'm just like grabbing him by this like scruff of the neck. No,
Like grabbing like bricks. I'm just grabbing bricks off the houses and like trying to find gold inside of them.
What you see is a small, sort of rectangular stone mausoleum, and it sits sort of alone in what would have been once a cemetery. The trunks of a few dead trees poke out of the sand beneath and around the tomb. Hot breeze whistles through the air. There's a set of massive stone doors, double doors, that are affixed to the northern side of this structure. Beneath a facade bearing the likeness of an Osirion, which is the sort of ancient kingdom that this once was even. Man. Wind-blown sand is heaped around the crypt, partially burying the doors that lead within. So there's a bit of sand all over the place. Probably, much to Grit's amusement.
Yeah, so you got something against sand?
Who speaks ancient Osiriani again?
That'd be me.
Perfect. So above, sort of the door, the double doors, you see the name Akhentepi engraved in ancient Osiriani.
So who wants to force the door open?
Can I politely ask the sand to move?
Give me a D100.
The sand instantly kills you.
Yeah, the sand is sand, and much to your, I mean, some of it is blown by the hot breeze, and you think that's a minor victory at least, like a consolation victory.
I'll chuckle to myself and say, it must be sleeping, and then just sweep it aside.
Yeah, you sweep the sand aside. It's you know it's only sort of gathered at like not it's not incredible force of labor that is needed to sweep the sand. Um, but what it does reveal is there are no sort of hinges or handles that are visible to the outside of these sort of 10 feet tall doors. So you're not entirely sure how to open it. So at this point, can everyone give me a secret perception check? Farsi, Kyburn, and Fungus, you three are completely at a loss as to, even you, Farsi, as to what is going on with this door. You don't know how to get in. You've never seen this door before. So you don't have a rapport with it, you know? So, Grit, however, you have a feeling that the doors are on concealed hinges and swing outwards.
Ah.
You can also sort of, on further investigation, see traces of mortar along the seams that has been sort of crumbled with time, indicating the
see.
doors were meant to be sealed permanently.
Could I, in theory, pry said doors open with a crowbar?
We shall get to that. Eshu,
Okay.
as Grit is sort of, fiddling with a... Have you got a crowbar?
No.
No, not
I
you,
do.
Eshu. Great, yeah, perfect. So as Grit even is fiddling with the crowbar, Eshu, you see signs of a crowbar being used on this door before, like the way the door is scraped and how it's sort of chipped. It's evident that someone has used a crowbar or some sort of similar tool to attempt to get in. You're not sure if it was a successful attempt or a failed attempt. So, Grit, can you give me an athletics check, please? Oh, you're trying your hardest. You just can't seem to get it. You try for about 10 minutes of this. It doesn't seem to budge. I mean, it does budge. To be fair, you feel like you're making progress, but you're just not strong enough at this point. Maybe you didn't put your all into it.
I mean, there's got to be some way to open it from the outside. Although, no, wait, hold. This is a tomb.
Yeah, and
So-
Grit sort of saw the mortar, so
Yeah.
it's intended to be sealed permanently and not reopened.
Yeah. Okay, so there's not going to be a way to open it from the outside. So we do just need to kind of brute force
Have we
it.
already
Unless
been around the whole perimeter, or we just stood at the door and we've never looked around?
So just around it is like what is left of what was once a cemetery. So there's just a few dead tree trunks, and it's quite bare to be honest. Like this is the only sort of standout feature.
Could I use base kinesis to use the move part of it and just move all the mortar out of the way so the door becomes loose?
Perfect. So yeah, what you just sort of what's it look like? You can absolutely do that.
I will basically pick it a little bit, and then because it's magic-y stuff now, I'm basically gonna pull it off like a big long strip, like
Nice.
almost like wax.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come like sliding off. It's gonna look really clean and smooth. It's gonna leave like a bit which isn't covered in any sand or whatever.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the doors will just fall forward.
I like to think that the doors do fall forward onto you. However, you're prepared for this, and you're sand. So you just sort
I am sand.
gather from either side around and on top of the doors.
And I'm really exaggerated. It's really exaggerated. Just dust myself down, which doesn't work because I am
You are
dust.
dust.
I just have to pick it back up again.
So yeah, the doors fall. I was going to say open. They fall incredibly to reveal a rectangular room that is completely empty, save for some engravings and fixtures on the walls. A pair of heavy stone doors to the north, and an immense stone wheel against the south wall. The air's stale, and a layer of dust and sand covers the floor, lining a thicker layer to the south, which is the way you just come in. Which is you just came in from the north, essentially. There.
Is the stone wheel like a grindstone? What's the purpose?
Can you give me a recall knowledge religion check? So yeah, as you're all sort of creeping in, anyone who wants to sort of try this too, anyone who's paying particular focus to this stone wheel, you're not too sure what it is. It seems to be like a vanity sort of thing. It doesn't seem to have much purpose as far as you're concerned. It's worth noting that all four walls bear sunk relief engravings and hieroglyphs, while small stone faces are affixed to the walls, about shoulder height, in each corner. The stone wheel to the south is engraved with a large spiral and is set in stone tracks in the floor and ceiling. But as far as Escher is concerned, it is completely vanity.
Can I look around, see if I can read anything? If anything else is in that ancient language?
Yeah. I'm going to make you read this out.
Oh, good.
And this is what you like sort of glean from the walls in ancient Osiriani.
Akhentepi's tomb is well defended, and those who defile it tempt the wrath of the gods. The only thing the Lord of
Bitch.
Sorrow despises more than the grave robber is the unsuccessful grave robber. Turn back while you can. That's encouraging.
That's meant for someone else.
But you can rob it if you're any good, but if you're shit, then just get out of
Yeah.
here.
I stare blankly at it and I say, I don't know what this is. I can't read, but it's not going to stop me. I have hope. We're going to get in here.
You say there were stone heads, Connor?
Yes, there's four. There
Can I
are
ask them if
small stone faces affixed to the walls.
Can I ask them if they have any knowledge of what's deeper in the tomb?
I
I have a feeling this is going to happen a lot.
Yeah.
The stone
From, Earth.
heads.
I don't know.
The stone heads stare back blankly and silently to you.
Well, they would have been up for conversation. Been isolated
But-
for who knows how long.
But what you do realize, Grit, is these stone faces are shaped to be torch holders. I imagine someone's got a torch out at this point.
Ooh.
Because it is kind of a bit dark. You've only got the light of the outside coming in. And for convenience, all of the torch holders have a torch in ready to be lit, just in case, you know. So you can just go around
Oh.
lighting them, I assume.
Kind of them.
I will laugh to myself again and say, "Oh, silly! They're just cold," and start setting them on fire.
Perfect.
You mentioned
Did not give as
No.
much as I was hoping for.
what was that? You said something about like tracks on the south wall, was it?
So yeah, there's an immense stone wheel against the south wall.
You said there was a door on the north side, but we came from the north side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
A
was
pair of heavy
assuming that
stone
was
doors to
blood.
the north, and an immense stone wheel against. So the wheel, sorry, is actually up against the wall. So I mean,
Does it look like the wheel can move?
give me a recall knowledge crafting check, or go and try and push it.
I'm just gonna try push it.
All right.
I'm not smart.
Can you give me
But
an
It took us this long
athletics?
to just try and turn the wheel.
Can I help them turn the wheel?
You can. Give me an athletics too. Farsi, perfect, right, cool.
Yep. That was a
You,
good use of a hero point.
yeah.
Mhm.
Grit sort of is prepared to help you, but then you just sort of, mustering all your strength, just push into this wheel, and it just sort of rolls over to reveal it's like a doorway. I mean, with your incredible strength and natural 20,
Yes.
you won the wheel door puzzle, and it leads to a southern room, another square room that is starkly devoid of any markings or adornment. In the center of the chamber's floor is a square shaft that drops straight down into darkness. There's a faint musty odor that rises from the pit. A single piton has been hammered into the stone floor by the northeastern corner of the pit, and a dusty length of rope dangles from the piton into the darkness of the shaft.
I'm
Let's descend
gonna
the rope.
I'm gonna just have one of my weapons out at the
Okay.
ready, just in case.
Lovely.
Drop a
Because-
torch down the big dark hole.
Yeah, perfect. So you just drop
As
a
it's
torch
like, yeah.
down, and I believe it drops down for a while. You would estimate about 60 feet this shaft goes, and I can tell you the rope does
Okay.
not extend that far. It's about 5 feet before it's being cut off.
And before we go down into the shaft, I just want to check out the room, make sure that there isn't anything. I want to make sure that it is an empty room before climbing down into a deep dark hole.
Give me a secret perception check. You do
so
look
that we're not
around,
leaving anything.
and it's not the room that the shaft is in that sort of has something that gathers your attention. It's the room that you just sort of entered through, and you see this big sort of like a pincer claw be quickly retracted from the sort of door, like the doorway where the stone wheel was covering. Something is clearly sneaking up on you.
I'm gonna let everyone else know. Gonna make everyone aware of that.
Oh, cool. Can I get my big shield out?
You certainly
Get my
can.
funny stuff.
Can I like just break
Go
off
ahead.
like a bit of chalk and just like throw it forward, see if it gets its attention?
You can.
Right.
You break off the chalk, throw it forward, and as soon as it sort of enters the threshold of this doorway, the pincer comes down and stabs it. At this point,
That's good
I
because
think
I was tempted to send my bat in there and
Ooh.
have a look at what it was.
Oh no.
So good thing I didn't do
I
that.
think we should
Yep.
roll initiative. As this thing reveals itself, and not only does it look chitinous, it looks slightly translucent. This
Scorpion.
is some sort of ghost scorpion.
Oh no.